It's the start of meteorological or whatever fall. And we have our pumpkin harvest all completed. 6 pumpkins. 2 of them are magic lanterns and 4 of them are Corvette. We do have some powdery mildew, and I'll show it to you. I think it's on a magic lantern plant, but it may be a Corvette. It's right on the edge there. But I'll show you what it looks like. And usually you will see this at the end of July. And by the end of August, none of the leaves are left. But this year, very, very late. And I did watch a video by a giant pumpkin grower, Chad New, who mentioned that his powdery mildew is a little late this year too. And I know giant pumpkins are not resistant to it, so that could be a general trend. I don't know where he lives though. So anyway, it'd be nice if powdery mildew went extinct, wouldn't it? Okay, so those are our pumpkins. This plant here is trying to regenerate, but any pumpkins that we get out of this one at this point will be small. Not that they aren't all small anyway. I did include a photo at the beginning of the video, and you can see they're very, very small. They're 7 to 10 pounds for the Corvettes, and maybe 4 pounds on the outside for the magic lanterns. Here is our mystery guest in the garden this year. It is rotting. We're not going to ever find out how big it could have gotten. There it is right there. It's some kind of white pumpkin. How it ended up in my lawn, I don't know. But almost every year in this garden there seems to be a mystery guest. And one more thing I found yesterday, but I don't know how viable it's going to be because there were no male flowers at the time. This is a magic lantern, so we'll see if it falls off or not. But almost definite it is not going to be large. There is a cricket. Hi, cricket. And yeah, so at the moment I can't remember what I was going to talk to you about this week. So I'll just show you my harvest. I'm pretty much going to rip most of these plants out this week. The few that are still trying I will leave in, and that's most of the Corvettes. They are kind of hanging in there. So we'll see what happens. But we're at the end of summer here. Sunflowers are blooming like crazy still. So I have to remember this one with a little bit of color in the middle because that one is really hanging in there. And those are some pond plants waiting for my new pond to be dug. I think that'll probably be in the next couple days. Then we'll have the fun business of moving the fish. And we have 2 big goldfish in there. They were not big when they were put in, but they are big now. I got another cucumber out of the cucumber vine this week. There's still another one growing here. But the problem with cucumbers after July is they mature very, very quickly. They get big seeds in them and they become bitter. So probably not worth eating. But this plant sure knocked itself out this summer. And like I said, I'll be growing this again next year. See if it does as well. And if it does, then it's my cucumber. It is called Bush Champion. And the tomatoes have pretty much had it. There's a lot of red ones, but very few usable tomatoes. Down here on the ground, the problem is a chipmunk. And probably a couple of mice are chewing on the tomatoes as fast as they can ripen. And on the plants, they're splitting because of uneven moisture during the season. And so really not getting much out of them. I did have one haul that I took to, is this one okay? No, it's not. I took to the food pantry. But that was all I got for the food pantry this year. Unless, there we go, Tam jalapeno. Unless our beefsteak plants start producing a lot. And those are way, way behind because they were growing from seed in the garden, and it was a really cold spring that ended with near frost. So, yeah, these guys are way behind, but there are a few larger tomatoes on these vines. So I'll keep them watered, maybe even feed them and hope for the best. So anyway, considering what happened last year, I think it was one pumpkin out of 8 vines last year, and all the vines were dead by the middle of August. I'm not complaining for what happened here. A lot of lessons learned in the last couple of years. I'm happy with my haul, even though I'm more accustomed to getting 24 pumpkins out of 7 vines or whatever I've gotten in the past. It's been pretty crazy. Next year we're going to be trying something totally new. A bunch of containers containing the Corvette pumpkin. And the Racer Plus pumpkins will be crawling around the base of the containers. And those are the heavy producers. So hopefully we'll have a lot more pumpkins to talk about next year, and bigger ones as well. The Corvettes are never going to be very big. They are the closest thing to a bush pumpkin I have ever seen in a full-size pumpkin, which is anything over 5 pounds, I think. And of course they're small. Racers can get up to 20 pounds. I grew one that was 30 pounds at one point. So Thrill will be back next year, I hope. So yeah, I did have topics to cover. My brain is totally blank this morning, so I will either tack something onto this video when I think of what I was going to say, or else I will see you next week. Of course there's a PS. It's me. What I was going to talk about this week is, I talked last week about harvesting pumpkins. This week, how to store them. And as long as you rinse them off after you harvest them, it's okay to put them in a hot garage. I've been doing that for 5 years now, and it works out really well. A basement is great too. A crawl space will work. You might have rodents down there though that will chew on the pumpkins. Some people insist on keeping them outside. I do not really like that idea. Our squirrels around here are very, very aggressive, and the only way I've found to deter them is to bathe the pumpkin in hot sauce, and you'd have to do it every day. Very, very hard to do. They will chew the pumpkin down to nothing, so I do keep the pumpkins indoors and away from the squirrels. There's no particular range of temperature except above freezing. You never ever want to put a pumpkin in the refrigerator because it will pucker up and soften. So yeah, that's a big no-no. Never ever put a pumpkin in the refrigerator. You're gonna lose it. It's just as bad as squirrels. So as long as the pumpkin has no soft spots and no unhealed wounds when you store it, it will last till Halloween. It should last till Halloween. I've had a few rot, but that's rare. And make sure you rinse it, of course, so you get any bugs off of it, any viruses, any bacteria off of it. And then store it dry, and temperature doesn't matter. So you should have a good haul still on Halloween. So that is our little lecture on storing pumpkins, and I'll try to remember what else I was going to talk about next week. But for this week, I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.